Is it purely from your imagination?
So actually, this is a script. Alex Macaulay wrote the original script, and Max and I sort of came on to rewrite his script afterwards. In terms of like, his script was like something that was floating around Hollywood, and a lot of people had read it and said, "This is a really great writing sample, but we'll never make this. But he's a great writer. You should know him." And Max and I both read it. And we were like, "This is cool. This is great. We should try and bring this to life." So we kind of came on, and our goal, it was written much more as like a sort of straight comedy, like a raunchy kind of comedy, really funny, but we were sort of like, well, can we ground it a little bit more and add some more pathos to Erica's character and really try and get inside her head and understand why she's doing the things that she's doing. And so that's what sort of we tried to bring to the table.
It was originally called Flour, F-L-O-U-R, and it was about a bakery.
That is a perfect segue, actually, for my next question, which is just for you, actually, Tim. You nailed both the comedy and the drama in this
dramedy.
The dramedy, yes. Your beats were fantastic.
It's the best.
What was your approach to the character?
First of all, forgetting that I committed to do the project, but then not having anything else going on, so showing up. I don't know. I'm a dad, so I could tap into that. I think in my own work, I've made a lot of dad humor that's now very hip and trendy, I suppose, but not when we were doing it. And no, I just said my lines.
Great. Well, you did it very well.
Thank you.
I absolutely love the film.
I am SAG-AFTRA.
It's good for everyone here to know. The film was fantastic. I wanted you guys to all know that. I watched it not once but twice, and every single time it was both shocking and amazing and heartfelt, and the dialogue was fantastic. Was there a lot of improv on set, Dylan? Because you were hilarious in the film.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're incredible in this.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to say that.
You're overshadowed by that Zoe Deutsch a little bit,
Right?
but you stole some scenes. I think.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was what I set out to do.
How could she overshadow you? That's so disrespectful.
I let her. Improv. Yeah, a lot of it. It was clearly great at
So
that.
the script was no good, huh?
Yeah. There was a lot of weak dialogue, so I had to come in and sort of punch it up.
Copy that, yeah. That happens sometimes. Earmuffs, let's put those on here. And then the next question, I guess, would be to Matt again. So Zoe's character was very interesting and flawed. You seem to gravitate towards writing films that are with flawed female protagonists that struggle with mental health. Can you talk about the challenges that come with that? Writing a convincing, complex female as a male. Because you do it really well. I have to say, you do it really well.
Matt wrote and directed Ingrid Goes West.
That's so good. You guys should see that. Aubrey Plaza is so good at this.
Thank you. Well, it's funny because Max and I have written, I want to say like 11 or 12 scripts together, and those are the only 2 that got made. So I wonder if it's more. We've written plenty of scripts with male lead characters. People just didn't want to make those. So we're just going with where people want to do. So I don't know. I think the challenge with it is the challenge of writing anybody authentically is you want to, it's why we do this, I think, right? Any character that you play, you want to try and get inside their head, and so it's the same for writing, I think, whether it's a male or a female character, you want to understand what's making them tick, what's driving them, and, thankfully we also had, like, Dylan and Zoe, we had such amazing actresses who had opinions, and I know that Max, the way his directing style, it's very sort of like the best idea wins, so when someone comes into the room and says, I have a better way of saying this, or I wouldn't say it like that, or, and they want to bring something to it that would make it more authentic, I think we're both that's exciting to us. So it's not about necessarily like, oh, you have to say our words exactly the way. It's wanting that authenticity to come through in the finished movie.
So you weren't too precious about the
No,
words of the
no,
dialogue.
we did our best. We took a swing at it, and then we just trusted our collaborators.
Great, that's awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys shot this film in 15 or 16 days?
That's the story. I don't know. It doesn't seem possible.
It's promotional garbage. It was a 3-month shoot. No, apparently, yeah, it was 15 days. I was there for 4 or 5 of them. And how many days were you there for?
I don't know. It doesn't sound right because it felt like forever. No, I don't. I guess it was that quick. I don't know.
That's what Max had said, and
I know what the budget was. The budget was like $500,000.
Yeah,
It was like
super
yeah.
small budget, which is incredible that you guys brought so much production value and so much, like, you wouldn't be able to tell. The
No.
film is so beautifully made, and it seems like it's a much bigger budget, and it was shot for many more days than it was. You guys did a great job with that.
Yeah, you could, if someone told you it was a 15-day shoot, you would expect maybe that I would have picked up on the vibe that things are insanely hard and stressful and chaotic, but it didn't feel that way. It always felt like they were just making their days and doing what they needed to do.
From my experience, whenever you have less time and less money, I almost feel like you have to figure out more creative ways to get things done.
Definitely.
Did you feel like that was the case on this film?
Yeah, I think there was a sense of like confidence in what they were doing, and we got that. Let's go on to the next thing. We don't need to cover it 10 different ways, just do it, move on.
That's great. And then I wanted to see if anyone in the that super smooth criminal. Does anyone in the audience have any questions that they wanted to ask either Tim or Dylan or Matt?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is because many times it's so hard to explain because it's sorry for my English. Sorry, I feel it's many times it's so hard to try to express. So to express something. So what is the most difficult thing that you did?
If I understand correctly, it's what is the hardest part of expressing yourself through your work? Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the hardest part is trying to say something original or new or doing something that nobody's done before. I think a lot of times, like the first draft, it feels like something that you've seen or read before, and it's so bad, and like the version in your head is so good, and you're like, how do I get to that good thing in my head? And so you just, the process is just you have to keep rewriting it until it gets better and have people read it and look at it. And I think that's the hardest part of the process, but that sort of is the process in my experience, is just constantly doing it over and over again until it gets better and weirder and more real and unique.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? I see a hand way up there.
Tim!
Hey!
Wardrobe?
What?
Did you supply your own wardrobe for this?
No.
I believe it.
I look so terrible in this movie. I was
But
crushed.
you do it so well.
It's all in the clothes you wear. I look terrific right now because it's the dark tones. But yeah, I felt very bad about myself watching this movie.
Some people might think it's sexy.
No, that could be true too, but thank you.
Anyone else?
Again, sorry.
We have a follow-up question.
She has the same question.
So because I want one advice from me because I'm here because I want to be an actress. So what is, I don't know, tell me one advice.
Any advice?
Dylan, why don't you fill that?
I'm an actress.
Yeah.
Advice. I mean, like, there's so many different like practically, like, or creatively. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, for practice, for I don't know, for try to get into the character, you know, like.
How do you get in a character?
What's your process when you
I
prepare
think
for a
acting
role?
class is a waste of time. I think acting class makes people bad actors.
I've been sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
go ahead.
I make my own stuff, and I was looking at a lot of auditions today, and for the past couple weeks, and the biggest thing I always say is like, have you ever heard anybody talk that way?
That's exactly what I said.
Right?
No, I like there's
It's
a
incredible.
handful.
Like there's 90% of auditions are like that. You should listen to the way other people talk and try to tap into what that sounds like. Because most auditions are like they're I don't know what it is. It's acting. It sounds like it. It has a tone to it. There's a ring to it.
I think it's
That's-
because like
drives
popular
me crazy.
actors do that too, so everybody's just like, oh, that's what acting is. But like there's a handful of there's like a musicality in the way that everybody speaks. There's only like a handful of ways people talk, and listening to those and like literally doing that. I always like think, would someone say, why are you acting weird? You know what I mean? Like if your character's supposed to hide something, don't be like, what, you know, like, because then somebody would immediately call you out on that in real life. I don't know if that makes any sense. You're asking me something I think about all the time, and now I can't answer it.
Just be yourself, I think is the.
Have fun and be yourself.
Just be yourself. Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, I mean, most times, especially for film and television, you're trying to cast people that are like, you're trying to cast actors that are like the characters you have in mind. You're not looking for someone to play a part, play a king from the 15th century, you know? Like,
you're
you're looking
auditioning
for
for Queen.
people that feel real.
Anyone else? Anyone at all? Yep, right here.
Hi, my name is Alicia. I'm here to be director/writer. So I have a question to Matt.
I'm gonna give you the microphone so that people can hear you.
Okay.
This is Alicia.
You guys are doing great moderating this.
Okay, so when you sometimes as a writer, like you have something coming up with like ideas in your brain, but it's really hard to make it as a script, you know. So what is your very first thing to do when you do brainstorming with like stories?
Yeah, I think it's, that's the most frustrating part is when you have a lot of free time and you're like, I want to be working on something, but I don't have an idea, And I think the hardest part about that is to just accept that you don't have any ideas and to just live in that space for a little bit and like trust that you're going to come up with an idea eventually, but to just watch movies and read books and go to the museum and go to, get out of your house and go into the world and look around, and look for, and eventually something is gonna start tugging at you and you're gonna just, at a certain point, you're gonna be like, I have to do this, and I think it's important to wait to get to that point and not force yourself into, paint yourself into a corner and say, I have to do this and I have to do it in this time frame and whatever, to just trust the process and trust that like, you're a curious person and you're gonna find something that you're interested in and that you're fascinated in.
Or go out and have a drink. Alcohol usually inspires a lot of creative ideas. Go ahead.
What was your favorite scenes of film and why?
Dylan, why don't you take that one?
Oh, can somebody else go first?
Yeah.
Is it that
Tim,
hard?
this is you.
No, well, I guess I was just we've been talking generally, and now I'm like, oh, Flower. It was so long ago. No, I mean, it was so fun. It's all such a blur.
We shot this movie in 1998.
We shot it in 1998. I'm very young.
It's probably not the first scene, because that's never fun, because you don't know what that's going to be like. You don't know anybody. The second scene
It's true.
might have been better, but I was very excited to work with Kathryn Hahn, because and she's amazing in this movie. And I got to watch her work with Zoe, and that was like that scene where they were going at it. You can see me again not acting, actually just be like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong movie. They should get an actor to be in this. But that was incredible to be around that and like, oh, these guys are really like going for it. This is emotional. I'm getting choked up here. So to be around them and to be around Kathryn Hahn and her being very gracious and fun and so yeah, that would be mine.
She's so good in this movie.
I think so too.
She's so talented. I really liked the library scene. Well, also all my scenes, they all kind of run together because they're all me and Zoe and Maya fucking around. Oh no, the scene in the garage because Joey is so talented. He plays Luke. He's a really good actor. That's all.
I have a follow-up question because of the Kathryn Hahn conversation. Did you guys know each other at all going into this, or was
No.
the first day you met? Did you have any kind of bonding?
I met her on the red carpet of Game of Thrones. It just seems like a weird thing to say, but
Wait, is that true?
it's true because I don't know why I got invited to. I was on Eastbound and Down, and so sometimes I get invited to HBO premieres. So that was like one night I went. Was like impressed my wife. I was like, we're going to the Game of Thrones premiere. Did the red carpet and everything, and Kathryn Hahn came up. It was right before we shot Flower, and she came up and was like, "I'm gonna be in a movie with you." And I was, it was cool.
So you were husband and wife like
Yeah.
that. I guess you weren't married in the film yet.
No.
That happens later in the sequel, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. There will be a sequel, right? Confirming this?
Flower too.
Sure.
We'll call it Orchard. All right. Well, I think that does anyone else have one more question?
Nope.
It's right up there.
I just had a really quick comment. I wanted to say that I really find the movie very inspiring, especially the topic that you guys brought in. It was very real, and you can actually relate to it, especially because a lot of the stuff that you guys showed in the movie is stuff that people have a hard time talking about, especially with the whole like Me Too movement and all of that that's going around. Like it's very eye-opening. It's very real, and I just wanted to ask if you guys are like, how do you find the motivation or the resources to come up with these topics and actually bring them to light?
Well, I think, the script already existed, so I don't want to take credit away from Alex because he originated these characters and the story, and we just helped try to bring it to life. I think, for me, whether people like the movie or don't like the movie, I think it's important to sort of get these stories out there, and I think what was annoying to me was everybody was saying, well, we'll never make this movie, we'll never tell the story with this character talking in this way or acting this way, and I think that's bullshit. And so people were like, how do we do it? And we ended up having to do it for $500,000 in 15 days, but we did it. And so my hope is that for the next people that come along, it's going to be a little bit easier, and then for the next people, it'll be a little bit easier until it's not weird for a movie like this to get made.
But yeah, tell your friends about it because, I've noticed recently a bunch of dudes wrote reviews of this movie. Isn't that interesting? And they're very uncomfortable by it. They're these, male movie reviewers. What a low life occupation that is. What a bad person that must be. But they're so disturbed by the movie.
So upset about it.
They're
It's so funny.
they finally did it. They crossed the line. But I bet you if some women wrote reviews, it would be a different story. I believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's a woman sort of exercising her power. It's a young woman who knows who she is or is figuring it out, and she's taking chances, and she's sort of ahead of her time, and that makes older white men behind desks uncomfortable. So
Somebody told me, actually, one of the programmers at Sundance said, she was like, she told me before the movie, right before our first screening, she was like, just be prepared because any movie that has a female character that's unlikable, she's like, a quarter of the audience is just going to hate it right off the bat. And she was just kind of preparing me, and I'm glad she did. I actually was expecting the movie to be less well received. You know what I mean? Like, I was even expecting it to be worse. But it is kind of weird how it does feel like there's a double standard in terms of what we'll accept from a male character and what we'll accept from a female character, and there's a big gulf.
I like you said the other day, it would be cool if there's guys, or there's people, not all guys, but people that have like Travis Bickle posters and
Right.
Taxi Driver posters up in their room, and like, why can't it be her? Why can't it be Zoe?
It's such a good poster.
It's a great poster.
great
It's
post.
such a great poster.
So all of you maladjusted teens out there, please put up our poster on your dorm wall. That'd be great.
Tweet about it. Tell your friends. Facebook, Instagram, What else are you guys doing these days? I don't know. I'm
Twitch.
Twitch it, Hinge it. Tell your dates. I don't know. Tell everybody because it's a great film, and we need to be making more of these films and telling stories just like this one. So let's keep seeing this one. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.